How would you define for us consciousness? Seems to be a very, very difficult thing for us to articulate here in terms of what that nothing yet everything is within us. When I mean nothing, I mean that silent, observing energy that maybe does or doesn't respond ever and just simply watches our personality respond. Is it kind of layered like that? Or?
There are no layers to consciousness. It is the lack of layers that creates consciousness. It's that moment we spoke of earlier today of blankness, of completeness, of wholeness, of expansiveness, where everything lies within the whole, where everything is a knowing and understanding. There are no thoughts per se when it comes to consciousness. Now, this could be misconstrued because when we think of the subconscious, this is how most would understand the subconscious. You're not consciously thinking about what's lying in your subconscious, so they lie dormant or they come out through actions, words, gestures, that kind of thing. They arise from your subconscious through various means, lacking the conscious thought that goes along with them. But pure consciousness involves no thought. It's all a knowing of who you are, a knowing that you're trusted, a knowing that you can trust, a knowing that you have no doubts. But the thing is, and this is where it gets a little bit complicated, when you come to that complete knowing, there's no more knowing that doubts ever existed in the first place. Because it's such a pure, divine place that duality doesn't exist. But this is talking from a very, very pure point of view of consciousness. How you're experiencing consciousness is through a knowing and an understanding that you're in the present moment, that you're in the now, that you are loving in every moment. It's living an aware life. It's being aware of your actions, aware of your thoughts, aware of your movements, aware of your surroundings, aware of the energetic vibration that you're receiving and giving. It's complete awareness, mindfulness, setting the stage for you to interact with the world around you from this place of awareness. Does that answer your question?
It does, yes, absolutely. And so I guess it's the idea of the nothingness is simply the no debate. But when you mentioned that you said high vibration, that's when you're in the highest vibration states or high vibrational state. Is that above the vibrational state where you're at right now, or are you existing in this state?
At this particular moment, no. We, the entourage that is around this room, I'm sure you can feel more than just one being here. We bring as much of that purity as we can to this place at this point in time. However, being, and please do not take this the wrong way, being that we are engaged with a non-perfect divine environment, we cannot possibly come from that wholeness, that brilliant place of perfection, yet we are not too far away from it. And we don't want this idea to make you feel unpure, because on a core level, on a quantum level, you are nothing but pure. But this is why we're having these conversations with you, to remind you of that. Because through your experience, that's not the place where you come from every morning when you wake up. But it is the place you come from every time you're incarnated. And it is the place you return to. So we do reside in that place. But we have many people that we speak with, which takes us away from that element to a certain degree.
Well, thank you for your sacrifice.
It's not a sacrifice. We don't sacrifice. And nor should you. Sacrifice is an interesting word, because I could feel resistance not from this room, but I could feel resistance on a collective level to that idea. Because people do sacrifice themselves for a cause. And it's one thing to serve, it's another to sacrifice. When you sacrifice, what are you lacking? You're lacking self-love. We understand that this could very well be a conversation that is debated, but the core level of the word sacrifice falls under the umbrella of fear. Does that make sense?
It does. And when I said that, I did not mean it from that perspective at all. But I understand what you're talking about.
It's these little things, these little inserts.
The subtle ideas that you were mentioning earlier.
The smallest things can make the most profound changes.